Imagine a heavy, solid brass lion standing guard upon a dark oak door. Its surface is not merely yellow metal, but a deep golden mirror that reflects the flickering light of a gas lamp. This luster is the result of a specific rhythmic ritual that has evolved across centuries of domestic service. In the mid-18th century, the Georgian method of polishing was a matter of chemistry and abrasive force. A housemaid would begin by preparing a mixture of common sea salt and distilled white vinegar. The acid in the vinegar reacted with the tarnish, while the salt provided the necessary grit to scour away the atmospheric corrosion of a coal-burning city. The application was performed with a thick piece of coarse woolen cloth, often salvaged from old garments. The maid would rub in circular motions, the sound of the salt crystals grinding against the metal, creating a white noise that filled the quiet morning streets. Once the scouring was complete, the brass was rinsed with clear water and dried with a fresh linen rag. The finish produced by this Georgian method was bright but somewhat brushed, possessing a soft, satin-like texture rather than a high-gloss reflection. This was the aesthetic of the age: honest, sturdy, and clean. As we transition into the 19th century, the Victorian era brought a new obsession with perfection and the mirror finish. Domestic manuals, such as those by Isabella Beeton, prescribed a more complex three-stage process. The era of simple salt and vinegar was replaced by the sophisticated use of rottenstone and sweet oil. Rottenstone, a decomposed limestone, was ground into an incredibly fine, soft powder that felt like silk between the fingers. This powder was mixed with a few drops of olive or linseed oil to create a dark, viscous paste. The oil acted as a lubricant, allowing the fine particles of stone to glide across the brass without leaving visible scratches. The motion changed from the aggressive scouring of the previous century to a gentle, hypnotic buffing. The servant would use a soft leather chamois, moving in tiny, overlapping circles for hours at a time. This repetitive movement was meant to generate slight heat, which helped the oil penetrate the pores of the metal. The smell of the linseed oil was heavy and earthy, mingling with the metallic scent of the brass. This olfactory landscape was a constant presence in the Victorian hallway, a sign that the household was well maintained. The final step involved a clean, dry cloth dusted with a bit of jeweler's rouge or dry flour. This final buffing removed the last traces of oil, revealing a depth of shine that was almost liquid in appearance. A visitor could see their own reflection perfectly as they reached for the heavy ring to announce their arrival. This high-gloss finish became a symbol of Victorian discipline and social standing. By the early 20th century, the Industrial Revolution introduced pre-mixed commercial polishes in tins. These pastes contained harsh chemicals like ammonia and naphtha, designed to work quickly with minimal effort. The manual labor that once took hours was reduced to a 20-minute task, and the deep, soulful glow of the oil-polished brass began to fade from history. The mechanical uniformity of these modern polishes lacked the subtle character of the hand-rubbed methods, where the Georgian finish was honest and the Victorian finish was deep. The Edwardian shine was bright but thin. The ritual had been optimized for speed, losing the meditative quality of the ancient craft. Consider the repetitive motion of the hand, the steady pressure, and the slow transformation of the metal. The tarnish gives way to a dull glow, then a bright sparkle, and finally, a profound golden depth. It is a process of patience, a quiet dialogue between the human hand and the cold, stubborn brass. As the light fades and the house grows still, the brass knocker holds the last of the day's warmth. The microscopic scratches from centuries of polishing tell a story of silent labor and domestic peace. We leave the metal now, gleaming softly in the twilight, a testament to the beauty of slow, deliberate care. Discover more history by watching the next video. We're eager to share more with you. You can't go wrong. All our videos are deeply detailed, dull while fascinating, and distinctly sleep-inducing.